And on this episode, we are very happy to be speaking about Ripple XRP. Really, when it comes to Ripple, it's one of the more exciting cryptocurrencies. It's very interesting to see how the establishment has been paying a significant amount of attention in regards to the developments that have been happening regarding Ripple. So we look at the news. That's essentially why Ripple thinks Coinbase should add XRP. You see, this is really exciting because when these technologies get added to Coinbase, it really does boost up the attention that goes towards the technology. And I understand a lot of people have spoken of this before, but it's always interesting to see these news articles like Fortune speaking about this and going into detail regarding these things as they continue to move forward. And I think that paying attention to the banks and the various different levels of society that have expressed interest in Ripple is certainly a mark of what the future is going to hold regarding these technologies and the place that we could see cryptocurrency having in the way that the actual functionality of the future of society and so forth. So this really is a very historical time in regards to Ripple and seeing this technology. I mean, the market cap where it currently is at 282 billion and the current price of Ripple at 52 cents. I think that there's a lot of potential for Ripple to triple, even quadruple. I think we could easily see Ripple worth more than $1 in a short amount of time. We've seen before Ripple exchanging places with Ethereum for that #2 position. And I've made the argument before talking about the potential for Ripple to overtake the entire cryptocurrency space. I am a firm believer that that is a possibility for the technology as we continue to move forward. It's something that I'm certainly paying attention to. Ripple really is one of the most interesting cryptocurrencies today. I've been paying a lot of attention. I've been doing a lot of research in regards to this technology, and I've been really comparing what Ripple brings to the table versus Bitcoin, for example, because as we all know, Bitcoin was essentially the first the general introduction to digital currencies for the greater community at large. And as we've seen the space grow and develop, I think that it's going to be a cryptocurrency that has closer working with the establishment than the ones that we had previously seen in the inner workings of the cryptocurrency philosophy as things have been developing up until this point. It's interesting to see the news talking about Ripple going on Coinbase after so much time. We've heard these rumors before, and it is interesting to see how the community has been responding in regards to these developments as we've been seeing the technology evolving before our eyes. Ripple certainly is one of the most interesting for a multitude of reasons. I think that what we're seeing happening involving Ripple right now is really blazing a trail for the greater cryptocurrency community at large. And of course, the mass adoption is vital when it comes to cryptocurrency, and where we see the market cap as it currently stands at 282 billion. I think that as we move forward, it's going to require these big money investors, these institutional, but with the institution comes a multitude of variables that involve trust as a fundamental factor. And with that, I think Ripple would work hand in hand with the partnerships that have already been established when you take into consideration the Apple and all these different big household names expressing an interest in Ripple. Ripple, as we've seen the technology evolving right before our eyes, it is also important to understand how early we are in the grand idea of cryptocurrency as it currently stands. There is a lot of different things that need to happen in regards to society basically becoming more adapted, but it's coming. I mean, certainly we're in the year 2018 right now, about halfway through it, and I think by year 2020 we should be seeing these things in more of a prominent. I mean, Ripple has already established itself in the media. We've seen you know, talk shows like Ellen DeGeneres, and it's been getting promotions all across the mainstream media, so there's an obvious indication there showing how Ripple has really exerted itself and branded itself in a way that I think is really going to be substantial as we continue to move forward and we see the technology developing right in front of our eyes. Now, for those of us who've been involved with cryptocurrency for any amount of years, we're certainly used to the volatility, but I just wanted to talk about Bitcoin dominance for a second, because it is at 40% at the time of making this video, and that's relatively high if you take into consideration the I mean, 40% speaks for itself, but I also wanted to talk about the fact that we have been seeing a lot of red, and typically when this is happening and we're seeing people, they're going to run towards the top because that's where they see the least amount of volatility. But of course at 6,670, Bitcoin and its reputation is certainly taking a hit, and I think that goes hand in hand with the cryptocurrency. As we saw over this past year, we saw a lot of publicity towards cryptocurrency, people thinking of it as sort of a get-rich-quick scheme. But I think as things continue to move forward, we'll start to see a more of a practical approach to these things, and I think with that is going to come a vital prioritization of who's who, and I think the banks are going to be playing a big role in that, because, you know, the establishment's not really going anywhere. I'd also recommend you guys follow Ripple on their official Twitter, because you know, Twitter is a really great resource for staying up to date regarding these technologies and so forth. And of course, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not your dad. You know, basically do your own research when it comes to these things, because you know, I'm not a financial advisor, like I said. And but yeah, I mean, in my personal opinion, I've you know, done a lot of data-driven research and analysis regarding Ripple, and I think as we see it continuing to move forward, and we witness the global community becoming more adapted to this level of technology, there's certainly a lot of interesting things to come. And of course, you know, Ripple, where it currently stands, I think it's in a fundamentally a prioritization place to really exert itself, as we see every single day more and more people all around the world are getting smartphones. People are connecting to the internet, and this is a beautiful thing, and it's going to mean that it's opening up new doors for a lot of new variables. And I think this talk of Ripple going on Coinbase is really going to be good for the community as things continue to move forward and we witness this technology evolving. But all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this content, and yeah, I mean, let's see what the chat is saying. Ripple $5, you think so? Personally, I would say that if I were to give Ripple a price prediction for 2020, I would say that we could easily see the value of Ripple making some serious moves, in my opinion, especially when you consider the roadmap that lays ahead for the technology. There's certainly a lot of different variables that are going to be coming together in such a short amount of time as these technologies continue to develop hand in hand with a lot of new opportunities made possible by the free and open internet, you know, and respectively the global community at large coming together to appreciate these sort of things and looking at cryptocurrencies as more than just stocks, you know, looking at it for the value of these technologies and what they're going to be doing in the real world. You you see, when I look at these different technologies on here, I always think to myself, what are these technologies actually going to be doing, and how are they going to be acting in interacting with the society that's already built up? And I think Ripple definitely does have a good back door to open, because it's established so much trust with these brand names and the banks and all these things, you know, coming together. Really, it's a perfect storm for a technology like Ripple, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how things are going to be advancing moving forward.